the Los Angeles Chargers played host to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, coming off a devastating loss, were favored by 1.5, taking on Justin Herbert and the boys live in front of their very passionate fan base. One in particular we saw last night really ride the ebbs and flows of an entire NFL game, especially being a Los Angeles Chargers fan. I couldn't even fathom what her last 2 years have been because they had this lady.
Yeah.
Hey, bravo to you, lady.
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't know if she had $100,000 or $200,000 on the Chargers last night, or if this is just peak fandom in the NFL to a point of being crazed with your NFL team. But if that's how she was last night against the Cowboys, I could not fathom. It ended devastation. Stephon Gilmore picks off Justin Herbert and says, "Go home, sad lady. You probably lost your bet." Or maybe she lost her mind because this Chargers team, this is the norm for them with Brandon Staley as the head coach. There's actually a graphic and stats that are coming out that they've lost 6 games by less than 3 points. Yes, here it is, last 2 seasons. 6 games by less than 3 points. The only team with more losses by less than 3 points, the Broncos, and we know how they're currently living. So Chargers fans, with this guy, Herbert, whose hair is magical and his arms spectacular, with a plethora of weapons, one of which we learn about every game that comes new. And then with a guy like Austin Eckler, all he does is score touchdowns, getting back on the field. We thought, you know what? Maybe the Chargers will be able to live up to the expectation and the hype of what the Chargers team can be and has been projected to be. Instead, the Chargers do what the Chargers always do. They lose a close game to who? The Dallas Cowboys, who somehow had Dak Prescott big stepping all over SoFi Field. Came into the game 40 yards rushing as a whole for Dak Prescott. Ended the game with 95 or 85 yards rushing, where he rushed for 45 yards last night. Led the Dallas Cowboys. And on this 4th and 1, you see him high stepping, big stepping, swagging all over LA. You knew it was a big game for Mike McCarthy trying to take on Kellen Moore on the other side. But you know it's huge for the Cowboys as a whole because in prime time, they showed up. Micah Parsons got a big sack late.
Yep.
The defense had a game-winning interception. The Dallas Cowboys needed this in a big way, and they got it. And I'm happy for them. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. And a 9-year NFL vet and super fan of the Los Angeles Chargers is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler. D-But I just said everything I said about the Chargers because it feels like that's what the Chargers are. They're almost the new hype machine in the NFL. The Cowboys have obviously always been that, and they're going to be America's team and on prime time every single week forever because Jerry Jones is one of the greatest promoters that has ever lived and one of the greatest businessmen of all time. Happy to see him and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
That was good. Jerry doing a little interview thing there, too. It's always good anytime Jerry, because Jerry went from going, what's going on over there, to being the owner of like a $9.9 billion franchise, the most expensive one in the world. So obviously the Cowboys are always going to be hyped and the expectations are going to be crazy. But with this Chargers team, with Justin Herbert, the talent that he has, and last night might have been an off game for him. I'll let you describe that if that's the case or not. There are a lot of hype, and very rarely do they show up to the big moment. Now, I know they were underdogs last night, but that would have been a huge game for that Los Angeles Chargers squad. And instead now we're talking about, is this Dallas's get back and the Chargers being the same old Chargers, D-Bud?
Would have been a huge game, huge win. Started off great, drove down the field, touchdown, Keenan Allen. You almost thought they were going to kind of run away with it. But like you said, the expectations, even coming into last year, bringing all these guys over, Khalil Mack, obviously Derwin James, one of the best safeties in the league, Sante Samuel, just names up and down both sides of the ball. But for some reason, they just can't get over that hump. And it's another one, another letdown. Herbert, that's my guy. He's the reason I'm a fan.
He is, he's your guy.
But he kind of stunk last night.
Whoa,
just to keep it real.
Hold on. He threw for 227.
I don't care about the numbers.
2 touchdowns.
Keenan Allen. I mean, he missed Keenan Allen on probably about 100+ yards worth of routes. Like a couple double moves he missed them on. He's gonna miss throws, but watching Herbert like I've watched him, those are just throws you never see him miss, wide open. Then the late when it was a dirty pocket, Gilmore made a great play. You know, that's why he's a former Defensive Player of the Year.
There was also a play or two last night where Herbert falling backwards, normal Herbert, right, completes that pass. Last night, short, didn't make it. Looked like a normal quarterback. Then there was another one where he was under pressure, under duress, 3rd down, I think. He throws short. Normally, those balls are because his arm strength is so spectacular. So I think there was numerous things that happened last night that make us say that wasn't normal Justin Herbert, but they still had a chance to win that game.
Absolutely had a chance to win. Went for it on 4th down. I know some people talking about it. The sprint out, didn't get it, but still was in a position to win that game. Definitely disappointed.
Chargers fans just every game
there.
It's just that lady.
Oh yeah,
like I can't believe she still has that after what the last couple seasons have been for the Chargers. I appreciate.
She's a plant. Let's be honest.
See, I don't like that.
Whoa, what do you mean?
I don't.
In LA,
I don't like that in 2023. The immediate thought whenever somebody's having the time of their life, escaping reality for a bit, just disappearing into sports, a team that she loves, you immediately got to say, "Oh, they're in LA. That's an actor. She obviously is just working the camera right now, and it has paid off." That's what everybody's saying.
Come on.
That's what Darius says.
Yeah. We heard you.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this Asian lady loves the Los Angeles Chargers more than you love your team, and that's not her fault. Okay, what is her fault, though, is that she still has this competitive stamina after what these Chargers have done to their fans for year after year after year, seemingly. You can even go back before Staley got here. I mean, there was like 2-minute drill fumbles in mess-ups that just cost them games like week after week after week. At some point, we all assume the Chargers are going to put it together, but we might need to get to a point where they might just be cursed.
Yeah.
Whether it's bad decision-making, whether it's things not going their way whenever they make said bad decisions, because all these aggressive decisions, just like fake punts and fake anything, if it works, you're a genius.
Yep.
If it doesn't work, you're an idiot. It feels like a lot of "you're an idiot" has been happening to Staley more so than any other coaches. So because he doesn't learn from those situations and he still tries to empty the clip and it doesn't work out, he's going to be judged for that. But all those could have gone the other way, especially with the amount of talent they have. You talk about Keenan Allen, and I know we're talking about Jamar Chase always being up. Keenan Allen seemingly always open, that guy. Then you talk about Palmer, and who was 7 last night for them?
Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett last night. This dude looks like he's just a freak athlete. They'll have single digits, and then you're adding Quentin Johnson in there if they're able to keep going in this whole thing. It's like they have all the weapons to be as aggressive as the Kansas City Chiefs are. There's good reason for them to want to have faith in their offense to pick up a 4th down or to do something special. But for some reason, they just don't on more often than not, and it's like almost the story of the team now. So that lady still being able to buy in that they're going to get those wins when it's been very consistent that they're not.
Yeah.
I applaud her. Even if she's acting, she might be the greatest thespian of all time.
She wasn't acting. I don't know if she was bought in. I've seen that. She's $100,000 in debt. Okay.
That did look like she had quite a large bet on it.
Yeah, and she had 100 stacks of high society on that game. That's the only way that happens.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah, respect.
Listen, we don't know how she got to the point that she got, if she is a gambler. But we do know that she took a swing last night.
Yeah,
if she's a gambler, she took a big swing last night.
That's right.
And she was close.
Very close.
Money line, probably Chargers. That's it, right?
Like Keanu Reeves, like when he's coaching the Cucumbers.
And she said, "I'm going to be there." Is she sitting in a suite down on the field?
It looked like
so. She couldn't see the game.
No.
Because we've been in that suite before, and I think we paid. I think it was only like $70,000 or something for that suite for the national championship game. Jeez. And it was because we were very lucky to be able to simulcast and walk around the field and do our thing, but we didn't have really like a home base anywhere. So we said, we'll just buy a suite and kind of knock it out. We buy that suite, couple of the boys staying there for the couldn't see a single thing.
Nope.
It was like one of the worst constructed things that cost money of all time.
Ever. Yeah.
And then you watch that game last night. Those are packed. Those suites are packed.
I don't understand.
It's got to be just so you could say that you were at the game, because it's like kind of a low ceiling too. A little bit, I don't want to say dungy, but
a little bit.
Little kind of dungy. Yeah. And then the only way you can watch the game is if you just look up at the Jumbotron, but you're paying $70,000 to just look at the Jumbotron. I don't know. So her being down in there as well probably got her a little bit more emotional.
Yeah.
I can't even see the damn game. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Look, I love whatever producer or camera person found her too. Yeah. They're like, we got it. You know how we're always looking for crowd shots? We found it.
Yep.
We don't know if it's a work. We don't know if it's a big gamble. We don't know if she's just a massive fan, which we're all hoping for, by the way.
Yes.
We're all hoping that she is just a massive fan, but we got her. Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. I mean, that is pretty much what happened in the truck, and I love everything about that. Go ahead, comment.
Yeah, unbelievable. I do believe it was said in right before the show started that she is, in fact, a season tickets holder with her husband. So she has been a day one Rams fan. Not a plant, even though I also thought that. But you mentioned one guy there, Quentin Johnson. Is he just maybe not what they thought he was? Because for a first-round pick, not to
hold on. In preseason, they were supposed to be something, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of clips coming out of camp of him making
camp.
unbelievable plays, but he just really hasn't done much this season, or is it?
I haven't done enough research on him, and also on this next thing I'm about to talk about. We have to be the first ESPN show in history. Okay, Cowboys get a big win.
Yeah.
On ESPN. And what have we just spent the last 10 minutes doing? Talking about the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at us. Huh? This is probably why.
How about it?
This is probably why the linear ones.
Well,
You know what I mean? This is probably, there's a chance.
I mean, you have to talk about it, though, because every year it is. We go into the season, it's, hey, this is the year. Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl this
Same
year.
conversation about the Cowboys.
Exactly. And you know, like that game as a whole, it was close. It was competitive. Kind of stunk. Kind of boring. The Chargers are they're all sizzle, no steak. Every single year. They have all these guys. Even you look at that game last night, they sacked Dak five times.
Sizzle.
Like, if their defense can hold a team to 20 points, especially an offense that's as potent as the Cowboys is, with their offense, like, they should win those games. And for whatever reason, they just never do.
So now let's look at the NFC East a little bit, because we will kind of let the pendulum swing back to the Cowboys. It's a bummer for the Chargers. We have a lot of respect for the Chargers fans and faithful. And Tom Telesco, the GM, is the reason why I got in the NFL. So, like, I'm very thankful.
Wasn't a lot of fans out there either. Once again, in the Charger Stadium, another home road game for them. Maybe she is one of the very few with the the real stamina.
I don't know how you could be, like, I don't know how you could remain a fan. Like, it's very difficult to be a fan of a team that every single week it's like a cardiac situation, and then also on the losing side of, seemingly. It's like you get your hopes built up and then boom. And then you think about the Rams are in town. The Rams obviously going to win a Super Bowl in the stadium in L.A., but then now they're rebuilding with, like, a whole new crew, and they're like having success. It's like a fun team. So if you're in L.A., and most of those people move from other places, and they have teams that they're fans of already, so like that is going to hurt the home field situation, because the people that moved to L.A. that are seeing their team come to town for the first time, they're probably more likely to go. But if you're an L.A. person just trying to pick up a team, it's like, if you're just getting into football, the Rams feel like the team that you would just naturally go to, especially if you want to be a happier human, seemingly. If you want to be able to have, like, stars on that team, not that Herbert isn't, but like Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford now, like Jalen Ramsey was there. Like, they had names star-studded. It's almost like the race to get all the football fans in L.A. The Rams hit hard, hit early, had success, and now they're rebuilding again. And it's like, what are Chargers fans going through? Well, it's like every single week you have no idea how you're going to lose, but you know it's coming. That's a tough thing when you're trying to build a brand. I appreciate that they're an explosive brand. I appreciate that they think about how it's got to be entertaining football, because we are trying to attract new fans. But it's like all the entertaining shit does not matter if you just lose heartbreaking games. Yeah. And they're second most in the last 2 seasons, 3 points or less. We're only 6 weeks into the season, by the way. So this isn't like 2 full seasons. This is a season and a half pretty much with these numbers. That's a lot of heartbreak. Those close ones, if a ball happens to just bounce your way, you win that game. The Lions enjoyed this life for 30 years or whatever.
The entire Matthew Stafford era was this. I feel so bad for Chargers fans, because every time I watch them, I go, wow, that's what I used to go through every single week. We'd be so close, and then bang,
it's like
that thing is lost.
It's like Jets fans, how Jets fans feel. Jets fans are like, how are we going to mess this up? And it's like Chargers fans are now doing that in a new home. That's going to be tough to garner new fans.
And just wait, Herbert will get blamed for this at some point, just like Stafford did in Detroit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of interceptions on, like, 1-score games.
Yep.
Yeah, well, if Staley's still
See, there he is. He's already starting.
No, look, I'm a huge fan of this kid. His talent is unbelievable, but obviously we know talent is only going to go so far. You got to, like you mentioned, you got to win games. You got to get over the hump. And you're going to look at the head coach, you're going to look at the quarterback. Like, that's just how, that's why they get paid the big bucks.
Winning cures all. It legitimately does. Losing, though, exposes everything. And it is so quick how it all can come. And who knows what the Chargers look like in the future, but I hope for their fans, especially that lady.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bingo.
Hey, lady, thank you.
Need more
Thank you, lady.
More of you, lady.
I don't know how many people are saying thank you to that lady, but I would like to say thank you to this lady.
That passion.
I mean, are you kidding me?